Yeah. Yeah.
We're big commies.
Yeah, well, yeah. But everybody knows how things are, and hopefully everybody knows how things are in Cuba. That you're literally you're just owner of your own breath, literally. You don't know anything. If I had this restaurant in Cuba, uh, I would be called an owner. I would be a manager, but all the profit and all that stuff goes to the government. Every single business goes to
That sounds
the
fun.
government. Uh, but you're the owner. But
Yeah.
not really. You're just a manager, and you get a paycheck. And along with there's two types of currency: the pesos cubanos, which is the money that the Cubans use, and they exchange maybe 1 peso cubano for, maybe half a pound of rice and some veggies, maybe. And then you have the cook which is the money that tourism and people from out of the country uses. So one cook is maybe maybe a quarter of a peso cubano, but all these little Oh, cook is cook is like peso dollars. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
currency. It's very equivalent. But the peso cubano, I don't even know why they have it, but anyway, let's skip all that for another episode. But yeah, no, and like I said, you go a day, and it'll change your life. You stay there for a long period of time, your perception and your understanding more of a Cuban people, then you'll be not really fully understand them, but at least we'll have a better grasp of what it really is to live there, right?
Right.
But it is what it is, and but at the same time, they have great music, they have great food, they have great cigars, and they have a lot of great things. That's why they say if you go to Cuba, you go solo. Just saying. Just a little tourism advice. Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
How did you find that this was going to be your niche when you came to Colorado? You were like, Denver's severely lacking authenticity, or how did you decide that this was what you wanted to fucking do?
Yeah. Well, being from Mexico City, I compare it to New York on a smaller scale, but perhaps the same as far as.
Yeah.
Then again, this is just my personal opinion. I think as of New York, Mexico City is a melting pot of culture and special ingredients from all over Mexico.
Yeah.
Because Mexico City, right, is the biggest city, right? So people from northern part of Mexico and from southern part of Mexico that they don't really have a way of life. They think that if we go to the big city, that's where the money is, right? So you move, right? And perhaps you find a job and all that stuff, or perhaps not, and then you end up living in the street, or that's another story. But my point is that once you're there, and if you're from Yucatan, you're gonna miss your cochinita pibil. You're gonna miss your traditional dishes. So what do? You bring your ingredients, right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden we have all these Yucatan ingredients in Mexico City. And then you're from Chihuahua or San Luis Potosí, Zacatecas, Durango. Same thing. I'm living here. I'm craving all these dishes from there. And all of a sudden, all these ingredients, they're combined with the central Mexico ingredients. And even though you still true to your own recipes, And that's why every single concept and every single Mexican food that you can imagine, you can find in Mexico City. And that's the only place that you can find it because of it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people from all other states. So it makes sense. But at the same time, growing up there, you don't know any better. So
Right.
to you is normal. And all of a sudden there's these crazy people and chefs that they want to explore, and all of a sudden they're mixing techniques from the south with ingredients from the north, and vice versa, and it's just a mixture of crazy things. And what is the result? Just millions and millions of flavors, textures, and all these kinds of crazy things. So I think to me, from being from Mexico City, that what I have it in my palate, in my it was in me. So when I moved to Denver, I'm lacking. Like I said 20 years ago, I don't see and I don't find absolutely anything that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like nothing.
So you've been here for 20 fucking years?
20 years. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you've been here well before the gringo burst.
Man,
Yeah.
bro, it was 2 buildings downtown, and that was it. Nobody talked about Denver. A lot of people thought that Denver was like a pit stop to go to Aspen and go to Breckenridge, to go to Vail and stuff, which it was.
Yeah.
Which it was. But and that was it. Never would. Yeah, it was just a pit stop. That
Yeah.
was it. That was it. And commute 20 minutes, you hit traffic. If you're 20 minutes commute, you're stuck in I-25, and oh my God. So, but then again, me personally, being from Mexico City, here is still that one building downtown that, it's fine. And I love people. Yeah. Yeah. And I love people. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you're fine.
Mexico
Yeah.
City might be worse.
Yeah, because it's New York, but it's on a bigger scale. But
Yeah.
but not because it's bigger, it's gonna lower the traffic and stuff. It's just gonna get bigger. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. 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 Well, let's go back 20 years. I'm here. No. No. I like to be in the background. But I moved here. So I had an uncle already here working construction. I moved here. It's I believe it's June 10th. And it's hot as hell. It doesn't get this hot in any other places that I've lived. So I never had experienced this dry heat. And especially my uncle's, construction worker, building houses and stuff. So what do? You go and you tag along, and then you get your job, and so on, right? Man, I have kudos and much love and more power to all the construction workers.
Yeah, fuck.
For real, I worked a solid 2 weeks, and I tapped out. it was just, it was just, I couldn't do it.
You got that one paycheck, though.
Yeah, exactly. I was just waiting for my paycheck, but no, it wasn't for me. And at the time, I'm from Mexico City, and all the guys are from Chihuahua, so it's always that little beef. It's all love, but it's always that little beef. So it makes it even harder and stuff. So I was like, what the heck am I doing here? What the fuck this shit? So that was on a Friday. I said no gracias to the former, and I bought my ticket for the following Monday. I was here on Saturday. I'm mixing things up, but it's very easy to remember because the Avs just won the Stanley Cup. That was my first weekend here. So, and I remember walking on 16th Street Mall, quiet as fuck, and I'm like a total tourist with my camera and looking all these things, and all of a sudden, game's over, Avs win, bars, 16th Mall, it's a fucking shit show, cars turning upside down, dudes hanging from all the street signs. Crazy, but it was an amazing time. So anyway, it was that weekend. But the following Monday, I had my plane, my ticket ready to go back home. And that Sunday, my uncle took me to a burrito place in Cherry Creek. And when we walked in, they had a sign and it says, "We're hiring dishwashers." So we walked in and we ordered food and stuff, but everything was in Spanish, right? All the dudes were there in Spanish, and we ordered in Spanish and stuff. And I remember my uncle asked, he's like, "Hey, are you hiring?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, can I get an application?" Sure. So my uncle gave me the application. And, I was like, "What else? I'm out. I'm already in Mexico City. I'm already there, planning what I'm gonna do." Yeah. So, I ended up. Sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You're dishwashing, but
at Chef Jose.
You filled the application just
fill
to
up the
appeal
application, and then Monday morning, Armando, which then became one of my best friends, also from Mexico City. He was the manager at the time at this place, and he calls me, and everything's in English, and my English was like so. It wasn't great. It was okay. Even though in New Zealand I used my English, it was more Italian and French and Mandarin and Chinese, and because that's the people that work in the boats, right? But anyway, somehow it tells me that I'm having an interview that morning, and my plane was like 6 p.m. and I was like, wait. So I go, I apply. He gave me the job, and then I canceled my flight. And I just felt good in my heart. I had a good gut feeling, and I was like, yeah, I'll stay. And and then you're in Cherry Creek. It's all nice and pretty, and the trees, and the lights and all this shit. And but again, I didn't know any better, right? So I started working there at this burrito place, and then I think it was over when I started finding out, working with the kitchen, and really learning how do things run, the real deal,
right.
not how you're gonna ask someone and say that. Yeah. So once you're not gonna find this like on Google, right? So they tell me that you can have 2 jobs and you have another part-time job and stuff like that. Then again, I'm 20-some, and with all this energy, and I picked up a job. And kudos who remember this fucking restaurant, which is one of the best restaurants been here in Denver. It was the 4th Story. It was a fine dining restaurant on top of the title cover that used to be in Cherry Creek. And then again, it was the 4th Story, which had amazing views. There was no buildings. You can oversee Colorado 360 degrees from this building. I started working there as a busser. And then just walk. You to go to work, you walk through the tire cover. Which it was just going to work. It was just amazing. And then going to work there, I walked in. It was maybe a Thursday or Friday. It was the weekend. 6, maybe 7 p.m. Fucking